If you're military, then you know how amazing VA loans can be. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can take the VA loan to the next level with investing. What's up, everybody? Tyler here, your Nebraska realtor, and today I am so excited about today's topic, talking about investing with a VA loan. Now, if you know anything about Omaha, Nebraska, we have a huge military base here called Offutt Air Force Base. And with that comes a bunch of amazing military families moving in and moving out of Omaha. And if you're even thinking about moving to Omaha or you've gotten orders to move to Offutt, please give me a call, send me a text or email with any questions whatsoever. It would be an absolute honor to help you and your family make that transition here to Omaha. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we talk about how, let's talk about why you would want to invest as a member of the military using the VA loan. Well, first off, the government is literally going to help you build wealth as a service member. Then we have 75% of all the millionaires in the world own real estate of some sort. You can earn passive income for your entire life. You'll be able to increase your monthly cash flow by owning real estate. Real estate is a renewable source of capital. And lastly, owning real estate can protect you against fluctuating inflation that happens here. Okay, so how can we use the VA loan to our advantage? Well, when it comes to the requirements, there's really one requirement that we really care about that affects everything that we're going to talk about when it comes to using a VA loan. And that is the requirement that you have to make the home that you're purchasing a primary residence. The VA does not like you being able to purchase a property and not live in it. You will not be able to do that. You will not be able to go around that. And if you try, they will investigate. If you do any tax returns or any legal documents with a different address, you can be dinged on that significantly, and then you'll get investigated for occupancy fraud. We don't want that. Nope. Nada. So instead of trying to get around this rule, how can we use this rule to our advantage? Well, there are two ways we can actually do this to our advantage. Number one, the first and most common way military service members are able to use this to their advantage is when they're actually being relocated or they have orders or PCSing to an actual new location. So when you are going to buy a home in a location, you buy a home and then you get orders to move out of state. Instead of selling that property, you can hold on to that property and rent it out and then move to another state and buy a new home. Then you've now acquired a rental property. Now there are a couple things that you need to be aware of when you actually go and do this. First thing is that when you go and buy your initial property, you want to make sure that the mortgage that you're going to be paying on a monthly basis is about the same as the average rental prices in that area. So if you go and you buy a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home that's going to be $2,500 a month, and then the average rental income for that size of a house is only $2,000, that's not going to make financial sense when you get your orders to move to another state. You're going to be paying another $500 a month just to cover the mortgage. The second thing you need to be aware of is if you try to do this and you move from one home to another home in the same city, the VA doesn't like that. It's too close. It seems too much like an investment property. You're going to have to move from one location to another, and it needs to be about a 50-mile difference between the residences. So this only works if you're actually moving out of state, typically, unless you want to be extremely convenienced and move to another part of town that's more than 50 miles away. The third thing you need to be aware of is your second tier entitlement, which basically means that when you buy your second home, they want to make sure that it's above a threshold, and that number is $144,000. So as long as it's above that price, you're able to buy a second property. Okay, now the second way that you can get around this rule of occupancy, that we can use it to our advantage. And in my opinion, is the most powerful way to start building a financial portfolio, a real estate portfolio that will bring you wealth for years and years to come. And that is, instead of buying a single family home, you buy a multifamily unit. Now, the VA actually allows you to buy a duplex all the way up to a fourplex. So instead of just buying a single family home, you can move into a duplex, rent out the second unit that's attached, and you are instantly receive rental income on that property, which helps you in multiple ways. It reduces your monthly payment that you're paying, so you keep more in your pocket as you live there. And then once you leave, you're able to rent out the second property, and now you have an income property that's started to make money for you from the very beginning. And you can do this multiple times. Every time you move to a new location, you're able to actually buy a multifamily unit. Now, there's one thing you need to be aware of when we talk about buying homes with a VA loan, and that is your VA entitlement. In short, the VA entitlement is $417,000. Now, you buy your first home, let's say for $217,000. Well, when you go and rent that out and you buy your next property, you will only have an entitlement left of $200,000. And that entitlement basically allows you to buy a property with zero money down. So if it's more than that, you will actually have to pay 25% of the difference. So if the difference between your entitlement is $20,000, you're gonna have to pay 20% of that $20,000 as your down payment. The best way around this to use your full entitlement is, once you buy your first property and you've been there for a while, you want to refinance that property. Get it out of the VA loan into a conventional loan. Now, the best way to go about doing this is, when you buy your property initially, you want to start fixing it up, updating, increasing the value, because the more you increase your value, the less out-of-pocket money you're going to be putting into the transaction when you refinance it to a conventional loan. Once you do that, you will actually receive back the full amount of the $417,000 entitlement that you're allowed to use for a zero down payment option. Now, every situation is different. So if you have questions, comments, concerns about how you can use this in our market or any other market, please give me a call, text, or email me with any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to take care of you. It would be an honor to do so, to help you out in any way that we can. Now, a question for you. Have you started investing with the VA loan? Do you already? How many properties do you have? And if you haven't, when are you going to start that process for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if this video was helpful at all, and I hope to hear from you soon that you're moving here. And if not, I will see you in the next video.